The devil went down to Georgia. He was looking.
Okay. Got our engine clamped on there for right now. I've got my piece of flat stock. It's just 1/4 inch thick piece of flat stock that I drill a hole in, put on here, that way you can get your exact measurement from the firewall. It's 110 millimeters from the firewall to the front of the thrust washer. So I need to go in with it. Let's see. Ooh, still gotta go quite a ways. Wow. Getting close. They give you plenty of motor mount on this thing. Be way back there. Okay. That's 111. I need to go 1 more millimeter. Alright. There we go. 110 millimeters right on the nose. That's handy because you can lay your ruler right against that and get the exact measurement rather than trying to eyeball it and look at your thrust washer. You can't get very accurate like that. Like I said, this particular cowl has slack. It will slide in or out a little ways, but a lot of models have a ring that the cowl locks into, so you have to be real precise on those. This one I could fudge, you know, a couple millimeters if I needed to either way, and it'd be fine. But a lot of them you can't do that. Now, holy crap, that is going to put the cowl way back there. Huh. I guess it goes up over the... Let me put this in here. It'll go right there, so that will go all the way back and cover this seam up. That's okay. It's a lot of cowl for here. You'd think that would be farther forward than that, but that's what they're showing. So 111, 110. Okay. Alright, we'll get our drill out here and start our pilot hole. I'm going to use the Great Plains center hole punch. It's got a little cone on the end of it, and then you spring loaded, you push that down to start your pilot hole. It's made to do by hand, but you really have to put a lot of pressure on it. I found that it works really well in a drill. Okay, now I'm going to hold pressure. Hang on just a minute, I'm going to have to get some help here. Okay, I've enlisted the help of my lovely better half over here to hold pressure on this so it doesn't move on me. Alright, you're going to have to hold that with that hand.
You didn't tell me that.
I didn't know that till just now. Alright, we're going to start the pilot hole. Just enough to start into the plastic.
Oh, hang on. Oh, okay, now go ahead.
Okay, and we'll do this one. Be sure and hold your cone in that hole on your motor mount tight, so it keeps that centered. And put a little pressure with your drill just to start the hole. Now we're going to go underneath here.
I'm so not going to be in this video, right?
No.
Okay.
She's worried about being in the video because she's in her pajamas. That's why I'm keeping her head over here. So, alright, one more. Okay.
I look like a big piglet.
Alright, we got those done. Now we'll pull the motor off and put it in the drill press. Okay, one thing before you bolt your motor on everything that you want to remember to do is your tube that your throttle linkage rod goes through. You want to decide where it goes and mark it. Now I'm going to look inside here to see. I'm going to want it to go under the fuel tank. So I'm probably going to have to put it offset over here to one side a little bit, and then I'll have to make a Z bend in my wire to line up with that. But looks like it's going to have to go. Well, yeah, it's definitely going to have to go over here. Come underneath that. It's going to be a fun one to route down in there. So, needs to be right there. Let me determine where that is and we'll get that drilled. Alright, got my motor mount bolted on with Loctite. I put it in the drill press, drilled my holes through here. I tapped it and threaded it 632. 632 bolts. I'm threading them in there now. And the front two, I'm going to put washers and nuts on the back side also. Go ahead and get these tightened down. These little T-handle Allen wrenches work great for this. Got these little sets at Harbor Freight for like $6. One SAE and one metric set. Can't beat them for this stuff. Alright. Get that one on. Oh, I bent my throttle linkage. I had to bend a big L in it here from where the tube had to go because of the fuel tank. So I had to bend an L in it right there to clear the muffler. But that's not uncommon. I have to do that on a lot of them. So, get these all tightened down. I hope this wire's stiff enough it doesn't flex. It shouldn't. My goodness. That one's really tight. There. Okay, get that one. One more here. Put that one in there. I've never had any of these come loose by drilling and threading them, tapping them into this plastic, but usually the front ones where the flat spot is, I put a lock washer and a nut or a lock nut, either one on it, just to be safe. All four if you can, but the way this motor mount is shaped, it's sloped where the second hole is, so you can't put a nut on the back side. But at least those front two will ensure that you're not gonna lose it. Okay. Alright, that bin out there. Now, let's flip it over. And I guess you could put a nut there. It just it's not going to tighten down because it's a flat surface. So let's put a lock washer. I'm also going to use Loctite on here just to be safe, even though there's a lock washer, because I don't want any of this coming loose or vibration. Let me get my little socket set out. Let's see. Hey, first guess. How about that? Alright. Well, I said it was. Maybe not. Oh, no, it's too big. There we go. No wonder it wasn't tightening up. Okay. Flat washer, lock washer, lock tight. Okay. Okay. Now, I guess I can go ahead and put a nut on these, even though it's not going to fit flat. Be better than nothing. Okay. It'll kind of tighten up into that plastic. It won't come loose anyway. Okay. Turn it on there a little bit more. Here we go. Motor's all mounted. Now, let's put this up and get it out of the way. Try not to get too cluttered here. Okay, now let me get my radio. Turn that on. Let's hook the battery up here temporarily. Just lay it right there and we'll turn the switch on. Let everything initialize. Here we go. Alright, now we want to trim this all the way down on our radio. And then we want to close the throttle barrel. Now, we put this on here. Put a little bit of Loctite on that. Whoops, it come out. Oh man, I'm gonna have to take this loose right quick. My little screwdriver. There it is. I'm gonna have to take this control horn off and let it slide off of my rod. There we go. Now let's put that through the hole. Put that back down on there. Now before we forget, let's put this screw back in the control horn. Or the servo horn, that's control horn. Okay. Alright, throttle is shut. Trim's all the way back. Loctite on there. Now we'll get a hold of it with a pair of needle nose. We'll cinch that down nice and snug. Uh-oh. I have a stripped quick connect, so I'm going to have to change that out. Okay, got a new quick connect on there. Just tighten that down. Hold it with pliers so we don't twist it. Okay. Alright, now trim that up to about middle. And we got just enough carburetor to keep it running. Now, what we're going to do is go into our radio, into travel adjustment, click that, we're going to go to throttle, and we're going to go to the high side because it's binding. We're going to pull that way back down till we can go full throttle. Then we're going to open the throttle barrel to full. There we go. We got throttle. And trim it all the way down, shuts the carburetor off. It'll kill the engine. About middle way, should idle. It'll look like my Z-bend is binding in it all, so it should be fine. Okay. Alrighty, we will get the cowl ready to go on this thing then. That's all set up. I guess let's go ahead and get the fuel tank in here before I get too far ahead of myself on this cowl. Get the lines in the hole. Let's see here. Get a hold of all of them. Now, put them through there. Let's see what we got here. This little wooden piece. Oh, I see how it goes. Get the it's supposed to fit. Having a heck of a time getting this little piece of wood down in here that holds it into place. That is about a Mickey Mouse system they've got there. I don't like that, so I think what I'm going to do is just put some foam in here above it and stick a piece of wood behind it and glue it there. I'll be back in a minute. Alright, we got the cowl all cut out, screws drilled, got my metal, it's a fuel lined plug is what it is, but I use it for the cable coming out up here so it doesn't vibrate against that. Also, the bottom part of the cowl kind of offsets from this block. It doesn't fit snug up against it, so I went inside there and glued some little blocks of wood for spacers. I have to let that dry and then I'll drill the holes through them and then we'll put it back on. So almost done. We'll let this glue dry and be back in just a minute. Put the cowl on it and the prop and everything and see what she looks like. Alright, put the cowl on, fixing to put this on here. Actually, I'm going to put it down here to lower. Cut that cable off. Alright, let me get a hold of this with a pair of pliers. Bend it. Get my cutters. Okay. Alright, there we got the needle valve. And let's see. Maybe 1, 2. We'll start at 2.5 to break it in. Alright, the only thing I don't have done yet is I don't have the tips of my prop painted yellow. It's late now, so I'll have to do that later, but go ahead and get that on here. Let me find the washer. I gotta find where my compression is. Get a socket set. Well, maybe here it is. Alright, let me roll it around here. Alright, I need to move that prop back up a little bit because I want it up off the ground if I have a dead stick. Okay, there we go. If you have a dead stick, your engine dies, you want your compression line to be on a 2-blade, you want it straight across. On a 3-blade, you want it like that. That way the wind is going to push the compression around to right there. You're less apt to tip the prop when you hit the ground and break it off. So, alright, got that done. Let me tighten this on down. Okay. I may have to cut the bolt off for this. They're usually a little too long. Let me see what I got here. Yeah, maybe not. Might work. See if it's going to bottom out. Yep, I'll have to cut it off about 1/8 of an inch. It's going to bottom out on me. That's alright. We'll do that and be right back. Boys and girls, the Little Red Devil number 6 is complete. Ready for flight. So we'll see how she goes. Got the cowl all done. It turned out real nice. The fuel valve over here. Little muffler extension. Got a brand new OS 55. The only thing I haven't done is painted the tips of my prop. I'm going to paint those yellow. Too late, too cold now to do it outside, so I'll have to do it on another day so it'll stick good. Got my little metal ring there for my carburetor adjustment to come out of. Got my hole cut over here for my glow starter. The wheel pants kind of decorated up with some lightning bolts. Tips of the wing a little bit. Got the tail wagon. Head turning. Head turns with the ailerons. Tail wags with the rudder. Got the canopy all trimmed up. Trim tape. Thought that was kind of fitting on the side. Hot flash. Seems how it is the Little Devil. It is a Sukhoi SU-31. Slightly modified. But hopefully this thing will last a few more than 20 flights. Kind of decorated the tail up a little bit. Anyway, she's all done, ready to go, ready to rock and roll. So we'll see what happens on the maiden flight. Stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching.